So today we're taking in 5 photo rally points, 2 from the Irish Photo Rally, 2 from the Wolfhound Rally, and 1 from the Dublin Motorcycle Touring Club. We cover a good bit of mileage around the southeast counties of Waterford and Tipperary. Starting off here, we're going from Tramore to Dungarvan, along what's known as the Copper Coast. It's a fantastic road. We're all familiar with the Wild Atlantic Way and those roads, but the Copper Coast in County Waterford is and has many views just as good as those in the Wild Atlantic Way, and if you haven't been on it already, it's well worth a trip. So the first location on the photo rally today is the Erin's Hope Monument. It's located on the Helvick Head on the Gaeltacht in County Waterford, and it's based on the long forgotten tall ship called the Erin's Hope, which tried to run guns and ammunition into Ireland in 1867 to help the Fenian Brotherhood. Unfortunately, its mission was unsuccessful. The monument itself was erected in 1957 in memory of the ship and the men who sailed in her. The Helvick area in Waterford is well worth a trip in its own right as well, and it's the first time I was ever down there, and it's definitely a place I will be visiting again. As we're driving along here, we're seeing great views of the Copper Coast. Looking there in the background, you can see the small cliff edges in quite some distance, lovely skies, lovely sea views, and good roads. Plenty of bends, plenty of curves. Great for the motorbike, and great just for a trip heading along. There's a couple of villages along the way which are also well worth stopping in. A short time ago we went through Anstown, and then there's also Bunmahon that we'll arrive into shortly as well. We're going along here now. You can see the bay, and down here you can see there in the distance there's plenty of more camper vans, and again this is always a very popular destination down here. Always a good few camper vans around. Again, Wexford, Waterford does boast some of the best sandy beaches in the country, and it's known as the sunny southeast for a reason as well. Weather is typically a little bit better than it is on the western side of the country. Again here, look at this lovely long stretch of road all by the coastline with fantastic views. What would Ireland be without a few sheep, as up on the right hand side as well. Plenty of grass fields and greenery. As I said earlier, we're now coming into Bunmahon, and Bunmahon itself, Bun in Irish or Oscuelga stands for the bottom of, and so this Bunmahon itself is the bottom of the River Mahon, and that'll be our last stop on the day, the Mahon Falls, which is the beginning of the River Mahon, obviously enough. And we're just coming through Bunmahon there now, and surf school's there for the summer if you ever wanted to head down there, do a bit of surfing. We've gone away a little bit from the coastline here now as we're heading towards Dungarvan itself. Dungarvan town, again another coastal town, lovely estuary in Dungarvan, always a few boats there, and you can see here now the bay that Dungarvan sits on. Lovely views there, just briefly on the N25 there for a little while. We're now turning left down towards the monument. And again, some absolutely tremendous views along there. And sometimes the camera doesn't show them very well, but I think with the views there, I think you get a great sense of just how good the camera is. So Ballygarvan is the small village at the end here on the Helvick head or peninsula. Not sure what it's called really. But again, look at these views, fantastic views, absolutely gorgeous. I was blown away by it, really, really nice. The only thing lacking was I didn't have my teen sandwiches with me. Would have been well worth sitting there for 15-20 minutes longer just having a break. And you can see there just looking back towards Dungarvan there. Absolutely gorgeous spot. We're heading off now onto the second photo point of the day. This one is one of the Wolfhound rally photo points. And the point itself is for Affane's school. It's an old school built in the 1800s. And again, a bit of a history attached to that particular area as well. Both the church and the schoolhouse are situated on Waterford, with the road of the battlefield. It was along this route that the Earl of Ormond's army marched in February 1565 on its way to battle the Earl of Desmond. The Battle of Affane took place some distance south of this location, closer to the old Affane, which was a substantial village at the time. So again, another few lovely roads heading towards this photo point as well. And funnily enough, Waterford, Tipperary wouldn't be too far from my doorstep. But it's amazing how these photo points bring you to locations that you normally wouldn't be in, or roads you normally wouldn't go on. So some lovely roads. You can see here the blue skies, absolutely terrific day. It was one of the hottest days of the year. So I put up the drone there to take a nice aerial shot. So now we're on to the third photo point of the day, and again another Iron Butt photo point, or Wolfhound Rally photo point, this one. And it's the Garryclogher National School in Clonmore. Again, more terrific roads here. We're on the R669 to the Vee Pass. And for those of you who haven't been on the Vee Pass before, it is absolutely well worth the trip. My first time, and I was absolutely blown away by it, I have to say. The types of scenery on it is normally something you associate with likes of Scotland or the West, but absolutely spectacular scenery. Again, just to say that it's on our doorstep in Tipperary, absolutely well worth a day trip, or well worth spending a bit time longer as well. You can see here now as we're heading up into the hills and up onto higher ground. We joined the R668 from the road from Lismore, and you can see now cars are beginning to pick up and gather around here. And this is what I didn't know about it. Obviously it is a very popular destination, lots of hill walkers, lots of people out for day trips, car parks quite full. Lovely old stone building there, whatever that is. I didn't stop to look at it. So this particular location here now is the V, and we'll soon come on to the Vee Pass. And you can see there, car park is absolutely full. A couple of camper vans there as well. As we headed around this little bend down here, next thing a lake came into the view, known as Bay Loch. Again, almost like a little mini reservoir there. But fantastic, absolutely gorgeous. then after this, you can just see the whole countryside opens up. I don't know what distance you can see for, but I imagine you're seeing it over a couple of counties from these viewing points. And the roads here are almost like something you'd see on the Tour de France, and it's called the Vee Pass for a reason. There's a nice hairpin bend just coming up, and that is actually the Vee Pass itself. We're just coming onto it here now, and you can see absolutely fantastic countryside there into the distance. We pulled in and stopped down here at the bottom just to take it all in for a little while. And as I said, here we are at the Vee Pass. This is the hairpin bend I was talking about, and we're heading down now, so we're heading from the heights, heading back down to the normal levels. And again, some lovely roads, some lovely bends on the way down as well, and tree lined, you're going through a bit of a forest area, I presume. It's not really a massive forest or anything like that, but plenty of trees, plenty of nice bends. You can see there stone bridge there with a streaming underneath it as well. So as I say, the next photo stop is the Garryclogher National School, and it's dated around 1840, and it's a typical example of this type of school that was built in the 19th century. Really nice building. It's actually an awful pity it's not converted to a house. It's a lovely old stone building. Again, the entrance doorways, there's one on either side to separate access from the boys and the girls. And when we pull up to it in a while, you'll see just a lovely old stone building. Again, some good roads. Obviously the scenery here is not as good as what we had earlier on in the morning, but still some lovely scenery, nice roads. There wasn't too much traffic on this section either, so that was always a good thing. Amazing, sometimes you're going along roads like this, and these would be roads I'd be used to, but you're following the sat nav, you have the location in it, but you're wondering, are you ever going to get to it, and have you gone wrong? Because you don't know what to expect at times when you come around the corner. But here we are, you can see the old stone wall and the stone building there, and look, it's a class old building to be. Make a fantastic house. So as I said, that was the third photo point of the day and the second of the Wolfhound Rally photo points. And now we're heading on to the fourth photo point, and at the moment we're heading through Clare. Got in a lot of different villages and towns during the day, but I suppose we did cover quite a bit of distance. And we're on the R7639 now, heading from Clare to Cashel. And we turn off this here now on to the right to head up towards the old IRA monument. And plenty of road tar and chips on the roads here. We hit them on a few spots. Absolutely terrible for the motorcycles, especially when you come around the bend and see a newly laid stretch of tar and chips and no signage, no anything warning you of it. We all know how quick you could lose the back wheel of the bike or the front wheel, even make it worse on such a surface. So the old IRA monument, it's there, I suppose it's from when the 1919 to 1921, and the monument itself is located just a few metres from where the original dispatch centre was. And the IRA were fighting the powers that be, the British forces. So heading towards the last photo point of the day, which is Mahon Falls. And this is a Dublin Motorcycle Touring Club photo point. And with some good roads, some wide roads before we got to the Cumra Mountains where the roads narrowed. Again, you can see there lovely blue skies during the day, lovely scenery. And some great views in different parts. So Tipperary, Waterford, well worth a trip, and some lovely roads on it. Up through the Cumra Mountains, there is a Cumra drive. But even as we see the Vee Pass here, there, yeah, absolutely some terrific roads there close to the. So we're just in Garryclogher now here, heading on towards now to the Cumra Mountains, to the Mahon Falls, and you'll see there we're crossing the river there now, but just in 2 seconds here we're going around another hairpin bend. Steep hill up there, coming up along there, steep turn, and when you just look around, over the sea, Garryclogher there, you can see the town. Literally just come out of it and a very steep incline up and turn around and you get fantastic views. So we're now on to the road to Lemybrien, R676. As I was saying earlier, the road narrows here for a little while before it improves, and you can see there the Cumra Mountains in the distance. Big long queue of cars there stuck behind a trailer and tractor with silage. Plenty of them at this particular time of the year, so always on those country roads you'd always want to be careful. You don't know what's around the next bend, whether you'll meet a silage harvester or a tractor full of silage. So we're heading now up to Mahon Falls itself. You can see there we're getting closer to the mountains. As I was saying earlier on in the morning, we went through Mahon, which is the bottom of the river, and now we're heading up to the actual waterfalls itself. And Mahon Falls, lovely day out, actually, lovely walk. We've been up in the Mahon Falls before, and it's an 80-metre waterfall, which by Irish standards is quite a nice waterfall. Obviously in other countries you have much better waterfalls, but as Irish waterfalls go, this is an impressive waterfall, and especially if you're down there in the springtime and that after the winter where there's been plenty of rain and there's loads of water in it. You see plenty of powerful waterfall coming down there. In the summer months it can be a little bit drier, but on the route up to it, obviously a single track route up to it, and you can see there now the Mahon Wall, the waterfall in the background there. But yeah, a lovely spot. So that was it for the day. We took in 5 photo points, covered quite a bit of distance. Weather was absolutely fantastic, and don't like to complain about the heat in Ireland, but it was almost too hot. Anytime we stopped, we were absolutely sweating. And there you can see the distance. So thanks for joining me, and if you liked the video, give the thumbs up, and please think about subscribing as well, and hopefully we'll get another few videos done during the summer months.